you're obsessed with the Connie Fife Show. It's about a lifestyle shift to move up or out.
Hey, what's your jam? What's the one thing that really drives you? What makes you unstoppable?
It's about opening a new door to live your dream.
People give up way too early on their dreams.
It's about enjoying the journey. It's about keeping it real.
Damn, now the interviewee is interviewing the interviewer. I like this.
It's all about you.
I knew there was something else I wanted to do. Stop taking shit so seriously. Y'all can do this. Take an outrageous look at life and laugh.
This is the Connie Fife Show.
We love your voice. We love your jam. You need to be on radio.
And now your host, Connie Fife.
Well, hey there, and you're listening to the Connie Fife Show. We are a business radio show with an edge. We give it to you unscripted, unedited, and we talk about things sometimes that blow your mind. And it's all about moving up around in corporate or moving out and living the life of your dreams, the life that you've only been dreaming of. Now, everybody always says, who do you work with? Who do you work with? So I just want to be really clear. We work with the world's most daring minds, the people that want to keep that passion of life activated. So with that said, I always look at the weird news, the weird news of the day. So I was looking at today's weird news, and the weird news for today is Jack Sparrow impersonator claims to have divorced a 300-year-old ghost pirate. Well, I seen this probably, I don't know, about less than a year ago. There's this woman, this bride who was getting married to a ghost pirate. And I was like, okay, is this for real? Well, I guess the wedding is being called short. And till death do us part really has a whole new meaning to this union. So you might want to just keep a lookout for weird news, because there are some really weird things out there. But I really want to jump into our show for today. I'm really excited about our guest. We're going to be talking about living life with success and significance. So have you ever met a veteran entrepreneur? Well, today's your lucky day, because with us we have veteran entrepreneur Aaron Walker. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's started dozens of businesses since the young age of 18. Even in his early 20s, he was selling to a Fortune 500 company, and that really set him up for his adventure of a lifetime. Now, today, Aaron's sharing his secret sauce to success, which is grit, authenticity, determination, perseverance. Can't say that, get that out.
Perseverance.
Perseverance, thank you. And most importantly, his mastermind group, where I know some of my favorite business leaders hang out with him, from Dan Miller and Dave Ramsey. But Dave, Aaron, we want to be talking about you today. So welcome to the Connie Fife Show.
Hey, Connie, thanks for having me on. I've been so excited today to be able to meet with you and do this interview. And it's just a real honor to be your guest today.
Well, I'm glad to hear. And thanks for correcting me sometimes.
Listen, it's late in the afternoon. You need that Starbucks pick me up. So you're good.
You got it. So let's start out with the secret sauce you talk about, grit. I mean, if you're in a business, if you're an entrepreneur, you better have grit, or else, everything else really doesn't matter. But it's that grit, the authenticity, the determination. How do you make it happen? I mean, since he's 18 years old.
Well, we'll go back. I'll give you a little backstory just for context in a second.
Please.
I was raised in Nashville, Tennessee. My dad was an amazing man. He's deceased now. We lost him in 2006. But he taught me a lot about how to work hard, how to be a man of character, how to be a man of integrity. And he said, you got to work hard. And so I was raised in a very poor family. My dad probably never made over $15,000 a year in his life.
Wow.
We were raised in a 600 square foot house that he gave $6,500 for. And so I know all about being poor. I know what that's like. And it gave and instilled in me that determination, that perseverance, that grit to succeed in life and business. And I started out at a pretty early age working. I was about 13 years old when I started working for a local pawn shop here in Nashville. A lot of people don't even know what a pawn shop was. And to be honest with you, Connie, I didn't know what a pawn shop was either when I started working there. My dad had remodeled this beauty shop, turned it in to a pawn shop. And I asked the owner, I said, hey, when you get open, I just go to school down the street. Could I work here? And he said, what would you do? And I said, I'll sweep, I'll clean up, I'll do whatever you want. If I could get a job here working after school and on Saturdays, I'll do whatever you want. And he hired me on the spot. I said, it's the shortest interview in history.
Yeah.
So I started working there, Connie, and I fell in love with that business. It was amazing. The people, the things that people brought in to borrow money. And at 15 years old, I decided that's what I was going to do for a living. I decided I don't want to go to school. I want to work. I went to summer school and night school for about 18 months. I had enough credits at the beginning of my junior year to graduate from high school. Worked every day then till I was 18.
Okay.
When I was 18, I met two guys that had a lot of money because I didn't have any and I needed somebody with a lot of money. We formed a partnership, opened our own pawn shop. And then from the time I was 18 till I was 27, we built 4 stores and I bought others and sold others in the process. And then we sold out to a Fortune 500 company that was in Fort Worth, Texas. And I retired at 27 years old. And I thought, my goodness, this is the American dream.
It was like, what that?
It was like brokering a convict, and then all of a sudden I'm 27 and I retired. Well, that was good, Connie, for about 90 days.
So how long did that last? Yeah.
And my wife woke me up 18 months later from a nap, and she said, this is not what I signed up for. And I said, what do you mean? She said, you're bored, you're lazy. You've gained 50 pounds in 18 months and you need to go get a job or you need to open another business. And I did. I went back and bought the company I started with when I was 18 years old. And we grew that company 4 times the size it was. But Connie, here's the pivotal moment. Here's the paradigm shift in my life. August 1st, 2001, I was headed to the office 18 years ago now. And there was a gentleman crossing the street to catch a local bus, and he didn't look my way. And I ran over and killed a pedestrian that day. And my life come to a screeching halt, needless to say. Well, I won't take you through all the gory details, but I couldn't handle the stress, a lot of pressure in that. You can only imagine. So I sold the business, and we retired for the second time.
Okay.
And we took 5 years off. We didn't do anything for about 5 years. We built a new house and we changed locations and we traveled extensively. And I was grateful that God had given me the resources that I needed over the course of my life to be able to afford to do some of those things. Went to counseling, had a lot of accountability, had people surrounded me and helped me kind of work through that. And they did. God gave me the grace that I needed in order to deal with that. My wife woke me up again, Connie, from a nap. She said, you're getting fat and lazy again. It's time to go back to work. So we went in the construction industry for a number of years, and we built a very successful construction company. Number 1 in Middle Tennessee, 3 consecutive years. I was pretty proud of that.
Nice.
Then I turned 50 8 years ago. And a mastermind group that I've been in with for decades now with some people you mentioned, Dan Miller and Dave Ramsey and Ken Abraham and Jeff Mosley. Jeff Mosley owns the I&O Records. We were talking about music a little earlier. And they said, what are you going to do now? And I said, nothing. I said, I'm going to go down to the Caribbean. I'm going to sit on the front porch of one of those tiki huts, and I'm going to rock myself into an oblivion. And Dan Miller leaned over the table, and he looked at me, and he said, that's the most selfish thing I've ever heard you say. And I wanted to poke him in the eye. I wanted to be like, I've been working. I can hear Dan. I've been working. He did. And I said, what do you suggest I do? He said, you need to coach. I said, I'm not coaching anybody, Dan. I'm through. And he said, no, really. He said, you and Robin have had over 3 decades of marriage, very successful. You've owned over a dozen businesses, and you've been very successful at that. You need to teach other people to do the same.
Right.
So Dave Ramsey spoke up and he said, come and do EntreLeadership Mastery Series. It's a gift from me to you. And I thought, well, that's a cool thing. $10,000 gift. Sign me up. So I go and do it. Dan Miller said, come and do Innovate. And Innovate was a coaching program. And he said, come and do that. So I did. And Connie, he texted me on the way home. We all live here close in Nashville. And Dan said, Big A, they call me Big A. He said, Big A, did you see the way people were leaning in, listening to your story? And I said, well, maybe I'm just a good storyteller. And he said, no. He said, you have value to add. You've been so successful in so many arenas. You need to coach. And so I, being a person of faith, I go home and tell Robin, and I said, let's pray about it and talk about it. And we did. And I said, I'm going to do it. So 5 years ago, I launched a company called View from the Top. And we started coaching And then I started doing podcast interviews and my business just blew up. Now we started a mastermind group called Iron Sharpens Iron.
Yes.
And we have 130 men from 9 different countries that are now participating in 14 different mastermind groups. And there's no slowing down in sight. We just keep getting these amazing entrepreneurs that are gathering together on a video conference, and we challenge each other. We give resources and accountability and encouragement, and we get to do that every single day. And so I know that's taken a couple more minutes than normal, but it's hard to pour 40 years into anything less than that.
Well, we just
that's what it's been like.
Hear your passion of what you're doing. But I mean, the message that Dan was giving you, that people were actually leaning in and listening to your story, because people need that. And I'll be honest with you, when I saw that it was an all men's group, I was thrilled for you. I really was. I mean, my husband, who is a corporate executive, I mean, struggles with that, and especially with a lot that's going on today with women and men. And but I was really, and I know some people in your group, but I just thought it was just a powerful. And then again, the message that you're bringing to them, that you could have given up. I mean, you could have laid on the street right there when that accident happened, but you didn't. Yeah. You had that grit. You had that perseverance. I said it right that time. And to really push forward and make it happen. And that's what people need to hear.
Let me tell you why it's an all men's group. A lot of people have challenged me on that in the past. And
I'm sure you have.
We have women call all the time and they want to sign up, and I explain to them. And at first they're mad, and then I explain it. And they're our biggest advocates now. Let me tell you why. There's things that I've dealt with in my career that are men specific. There's men's groups at our churches. There's accountability groups. There's mastermind groups that I know how a man thinks, because I'm a man, right? So I know how they think, and I can challenge those men to not sacrifice their families on the altar of finances to gain a position at their employment or gain tangible possessions at the expense of not knowing their wife or not knowing their children. Listen, guys, we only get one chance to go through raising these kids. It's not, a trial run. I mean, this is it. And I want to be sure that we don't sacrifice our families. And women are saying, man, the man I'm getting back after he's been in your mastermind is amazing, because we put high priority on family. Right? Robin and I are soon to celebrate 39 years of marriage in June.
Wow, I just get goosebumps.
Yeah, and it's because of her. She's kept me in check, and now I want other men to experience 4 decades of marriage. And we have 35-year-old and a 31-year-old daughter, and they work with us in the business now. And it's because we're focused on our family. We've prioritized our priorities to be in the right place. And that's what we're teaching men. Every single day.
That is nice. And I have a group just for women, and I've also been challenged from women. But I love the explanation of what you're giving. Like you said, family's first and foremost. Family is everything. And we talk a lot about that. And we have 5. And we think 2 of them are going to come into the business, and we're going to start doing that transition. And I don't think there's anything greater than to see that, where they want it coming to me, leaving their executive positions and saying, we want to work in the business with you. So
that's a testament to you as a parent, though, because a lot of parents, they want to get as far away from their parents as they could possibly get. But because you've invested so much energy and time and effort into your children, they want to be there. They want to be in the business. They want to hang out with you. I just left a meeting before this interview with both my daughters. We had a meeting today, and we talked about the issues that we're dealing with here in the office. And so it is so amazing. Get to eat lunch with them each day and spend time together. But you can't do that accidentally. It's got to be done very intentional.
Right. And right now, I mean, we're across the country. Because of where everybody's job has taken them. And we probably would still work virtually. But like you said, it's a testament of how we raise them and show them that family is really important. But I have to admit, in their teenage years, it was rocky.
Oh, you want to strangle them in their teenage years?
I was like, I heard someone that worked for me at that time say her daughter was a couple years old, and she's like, she goes, I just do not like my daughter right now. And I thought, wow, that's pretty harsh. Then my daughter became 12.
Connie, I really like what Bill Cosby used to say. He'd say, I made you, I can take you out, and I can make another one just like you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So
that was great. But what is really beautiful, and it sounds like you as well with your daughters, now that they're older, in their 30s,
right.
They're giving me gifts. Yeah. Like what I just got recently was a beautiful gold charm, but it was a saying on it. It was a quote that she said she would, and she did. So they see it, they recognize it, and that's what they're saying. Yeah, we want to be just like you. We want to work.
Wow.
With you. So
what a compliment.
So we're still working on that piece of it. We haven't quite gotten there yet. So where do you go from here? What's next?
Yeah, we're still doing the mastermind groups,
okay.
And we thought at first that when we got to 10 groups, we were going to kind of maintain.
Right.
And then it became a stewardship issue. And I started saying, well, what do? Just cut it off and say nobody else can come. And these guys are coming now saying, hey, I need accountability. I need resources. I need encouragement. We don't know what we don't know. And when you subject yourself to the scrutiny of 10 other people that are non-biased, you normally get the truth. And now you've got the general consensus of the multitudes. Right. You're like, man, listen, I have a dozen thoughts in the shower every day about a new business venture, right?
That's where my best thoughts come from.
It does. But here's the thing. We've got to have people to hold us on the narrow, to stay on the niche that we're on, the path that we're on. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I'm a high D on the disc profile. I'd be out there just blasting everybody and running. But I've got people around me, our team, that says, no, we do Brian Moran's 12-week year, which is an outstanding productivity program that I highly recommend. And that's one of the tips you can take from today's interview. If you've not gotten involved in it, Brian Moran's the 12-week year really helps you focus on the task. And we need people around us each and every day to do that.
Yes.
Our business is growing at 35% a year now because we've implemented this strategy and we've really narrowed our focus. Tim Keller says the one thing, right? And that's what we need to focus on. Matter of fact, I got rid of a business last year that was profitable, but I couldn't focus on but one thing at a time. And I wanted to focus on this business. And the more I narrow my focus, the more I grow. It's through elimination, not through addition.
Right.
And I want to encourage people to think through the bandwidth that you've got. Rory Vaden wrote in his book, Procrastinate on Purpose, that we need to prioritize our priorities. See, balance, work-life balance is a myth. What we need to do is be out of balance, and we need to focus on the things that are important, and everything else will fill in around that.
I love how you say that, and Rory Vaden is what we follow, and how you need to be out of balance, and that helps you to focus. And that actually, at the end of each year, and I got this from Dan Miller, I believe, at the end of each year, we do that too. We look at it, we evaluate. We have the team involved, my husband's involved, and we get together, we say, okay, what is that bottom 20% that we need to take off?
Right.
Not, was it working, or is it's just, it's doing its thing, but what's that bottom 20%? This year, we took it even stronger than that, because last year we had a website crash because we had so many hits to the website. That it crashed, and that's
a good problem, Connie.
Right, that's a good problem to have. Right. But we had to rebuild. So with the rebuild, we took it too large. So then, when we sat down this November with our team meeting and taking a look at that, we didn't take off the bottom 20%. We took off the bottom 40%.
Wow, good for you.
And these were things that we just put into place, put into implementation, and said, this is what we're focusing on. We're not having events this year. We're not doing this, or this. We are strictly focusing on how we are going out, helping our clients, being that publicist for them. I even took away my speaking. And number 2 focus is the Connie Fife Show. Those are the 2 primary focuses that we are doing. So we are serving our clients. We are serving them through our mastermind programs and what we do for them. And we even took away newsletters unless they're relevant.
Right.
We're not just sending out, again, just to send
There's so much information out there now. If it's not relevant and if it's not good content, what's the point? It's just more noise.
It's just more noise, and we don't want to create noise. We want to be relevant. So that was a biggie, and really taking, like in Rory Vaden, and saying, okay, we're unbalanced. We're definitely unbalanced, and it caused us to really take some risky moves. But it's paying off, and it's only mid-January, going into February, right? And it's definitely paid off. So exciting. So I do need to take a really quick break. And when we come back, I have a couple hot seat questions for you. The Connie Fife Show is heard everywhere. You can find The Connie Fife Show on most of your favorite networks. It's time to now recognize and thank our major networks for all of their support. In the house, we have Conscious Business Radio, C-Suite Radio, Transformation Radio, iHeartRadio. We are also heard on Google Play, Apple Radio, Stitcher, and so many more that I just can't keep up with them all. I'm Connie Fife, your unstoppable diva. Learn more about our gym and how we can work together at my fancy schwanky website, ConnieFifeShow.com. I'll see you over there. Until then, like, share. Now back to the show. And we are back, and we are talking with Aaron Walker, and he has just some amazing stories that will really keep you focused on your grit, your authenticity, that determination, and that perseverance that really is going to keep you going. And a lot of it is through his mastermind groups. But Aaron, what I want to ask you right now is to finish these couple sentences for me. So the first one is, I am unstoppable because...
Yeah, I'm unstoppable because I know where I want to go. I know exactly the trajectory that I want my life to be. I live my life very proactively, not reactively. So it's easy for me to be unstoppable or not to be unstoppable because I know where I want to go.
Love that. So what's your favorite quote?
Yeah, can't, couldn't do it, and could did it all. I'm going to break the rules and give you two. I say fear missing an opportunity more than you fear failure. Now, let me explain those two quotes.
Yeah,
first of all, can't, couldn't do it, and could did it all. My mom said from the time I was a child, she would not allow me to say the word can't. She would say, you might not be able to do it, but you're at least going to try.
Right.
Well, by pushing me through those upper limit challenges, and she didn't realize she was doing it at the time, it gave me great self-esteem and confidence. Because when she would push me to try something, I could be successful.
That's right.
Which has given me a lot of confidence today to go forward in business. Gay Hendricks talks about it in his book, The Big Leap. Yeah. He talks about we need to operate in our lane of genius, not in our lane of competence. And the only way that we can get to our lane of genius is if we get uncomfortable and we try things that we don't think we can do. I don't believe in failure. And I know some people say that, but I believe you either learn, right?
Right.
That's it. It's a learning opportunity, or you succeed. That's one of the two. And what I say is fear missing that opportunity more than you fear failure. And if you couple that mindset with a can't, couldn't do it, and could did it all, it's pretty easy to succeed if you have the right mindset. Carol Dweck talks about it in her book, Mindset. We have a growth or a fixed mindset. My mom helped establish a growth mindset in me early on. And so it's been a huge plus for me over the years in building this amount of businesses.
Well, your mom and I must have known each other in a previous life. We must have known each other. You know, both of us having those Nashville roots. I would say the same thing to my kids. They'd come, oh, Mom, I can't do it. I'm like, no, there is no can't in our vocabulary.
Right.
I want to know that you tried.
There you go.
Yeah, so we would always have that. It must have been those Nashville roots.
There you go.
What is your process for evaluating opportunities?
Yeah, well, it depends on the opportunity, and I really narrow my focus on opportunities now as our platform is growing. You can imagine, we do a lot of interviews, and so I get a lot of opportunities.
Right.
And we have to really see if it fits, first of all, our core values. And then we have to look at the bigger vision that we have overall. And every year I revisit my vision and I say, how is this aligning with what I want to accomplish long term? Plus, we write everything down. We know exactly the people we're going to interview, the books we're going to read, the themes, the Facebook Lives we're going to do. Yes. We know everything that we're going to do. And if it doesn't fit into that, then we don't do it. Because then it's the shiny object syndrome, right? There's always this next new thing.
There's always one out there, right?
We look at the opportunities and say, does this align with my core values and does it fit in with my vision?
I would love to keep talking to you, but we're running out of time. But I do understand that you have a giveaway.
Yes, we do. We have a couple of documents that I wrote. There's actually 3. And if you'd like to get those, it's called a personal assessment, to where you really dive deep into yourself, look at your identity, your ideals, your relationships, your faith, your family, your career. It really asks some thought-provoking questions. Another giveaway that I want to do is it's a document I wrote called What Do I Want? And Connie, unfortunately, most people don't know what they want. They don't have great clarity in what they want. They're just working harder to get bigger, better, shinier things.
Right.
And it may not be the smart way to work. So if you can go to viewfromthetop.com, you can get copies of those, and they're free. I've taken the price off, and I'm happy to give them to you.
Well, Aaron, thank you for giving that away, and thank you also for being here today. Fabulous guest. We could keep talking for hours, so thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Connie. I appreciate it.
So if you want to get and learn more about Aaron, go to his website at viewfromthetop.com, and he has some of those giveaways there. So Aaron, if they go there, do they have to use a code or something to give them?
No, I've taken the prices off.
You have? Okay.
Go there and they can download those for free.
Okay, for free. Make sure you go there, viewfromthetop.com. Incredible information today, all to help you move forward, have that resilience, have that grit, and really, really find what it is to be your authentic self and what it is that you want to be giving back in life. So we continue moving forward with ideas and keeping the passion of life activated. We have feature advertising available. Head over to theconniefifeshow.com to learn more about how you can broadcast your story everywhere. And remember, our mission is working with the world's most daring minds to keep the passion of life activated. If this sounds like you, give us a call and let's see how we can work together. So I'm going to leave you with this thought today. Be the motivation, not the distraction. Be the motivation and not the distraction. And that's from Rob Hill. And you're listening to The Connie Fife Show, and I'm Connie Fife. If you like what you're hearing, like and share with us, with your friends, your colleagues, and subscribe with us on iTunes. Until next time, activate your power, because we are unstoppable together. Hey y'all, it's Connie Fife. Thank you for listening to The Connie Fife Show. Check back often. You don't want to miss any of the good stuff. If you like what you hear and would like to be a guest on the show, head over to theconniefifeshow.com to apply. While you're there, check out our amazing advertising opportunities that will put you right in front of your perfect client. I will see you over there. Do yourself a favor this week. Activate your power and be unstoppable together.